Good Sunday morning, everybody. Chris Allen here on this April 23rd on the SAM channel, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. Good day yesterday. Wow, it started out with early clouds, then we went to clearing, then we went back to a cloud and sun mix, then it got breezy, then it got chilly. Yeah, it's still chilly this morning. I mean, temperatures right now are starting out like in the 40s, some in the 30s, which I'll show you on the Mesonet site here in just a second. But it's going to be another beautiful day. It's just going to be the coolest day that we have for the weekend and for the next several days. And we'll have to watch for frost. Some of you may wake up to find a little bit of patchy frost around the area this morning as you get started, maybe as you're getting ready for church. Just be aware of that. You may need a little time to warm up your vehicle and to maybe add an extra layer or so as you head out the door this morning. Here's a look at the satellite, and we're seeing scattered clouds, and some of that is fog as well, especially north of the Ohio River. There are some clouds and fog. We're seeing a few clouds here in southern Kentucky this morning. There's a little bit of rain moving through. It's light rain moving through parts of central and eastern Arkansas, West Tennessee. But other than that, it's a pretty quiet start to the day, and we're going to see quiet weather continue. It appears as weather stick, as you see behind me, is blue. We should be good to go. It's going to be one of those days in which we see, kind of like yesterday, some sun and clouds, and but a much cooler temperature than yesterday. How warm did we get yesterday? Well, the high was 66 officially at the Bowling Green Airport, and that was 7 degrees cooler than where we're supposed to be. And I say that it's an average. You take the hundreds of years of record keeping, you average for the day of April 22nd, which was yesterday. You look at all the high temperatures and then you average it out. We should be about 73. So we were 7 degrees below the average with a high of 66 officially yesterday. I mean, it felt okay until the breezes kicked up, and then it was a chilly breeze until late in the day, and then it started to feel a little bit warmer. Now today, look at that. We're going to be almost 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. Not as much of a breeze, but we're still going to be about 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. High of 57, upper 50. Some of you may reach 60 degrees with the sunshine, but we're not going to get a whole lot warmer than that. And then tonight, there is a frost advisory out again. And not only for tonight, but tomorrow night as well, because under a clear sky, high pressure, stable air mass, and hardly any clouds, it's going to allow those temperatures to just hit right there on the freezing mark. So again, like yesterday, I'm going to caution you that if you have any plants outdoors for the spring growing season, you're either going to have to bring them inside or cover them up with, like a sheet or breathable cloth, no plastic, because as soon as the sun comes up, it's going to make that plastic sweat, and then you're going to get a burned plant. So never use plastic when you're doing that. But here we go, 33 tonight, and then 60 or so tomorrow. Then we see a slow but steady climb in temperatures, mid 60s to upper 60s as we go through the week. This is going to be maybe the last hurrah as far as cool temperatures, or cooler than average temperatures for a while, because by this time next weekend will be the end of April, and we go into May, and the first week of May we start to see a climb into the 70s as far as temperatures once we approach Derby weekend, which will be the following weekend, not this weekend, coming weekend, but the next weekend. So we're getting closer and closer to, well, I don't want to say summertime, but we're getting, more into May, and there's not going to be that opportunity to get cool as the sun angle for April, it's coming more down on us because the Earth is tilting a little bit more toward the sun's tilting, or the Earth is tilting more toward the sun hitting the equator. That's what I'm trying to say. And that naturally is going to make us warmer because the days will get longer continually and the nights get shorter. So it's all part of the process, Don't look at it as anything else. People will, even some so-called scientists will try to tell you, "Oh, here we go. We're getting ready to scorch the earth." And oh God, I'm not going to get off on that because it's Sunday. Okay, I'm trying to be, you know, let's be a little more holy and as as holy as we can. All right, here's a look at the Kentucky Mesonet Network this morning. It's cold. It's cold in a bunch of places. Look at all these 30s showing up this morning everywhere, close to freezing. You see plenty of places that are close to freezing this morning. Then you see some mid 30s scattered about, and then closer to 40 out in the eastern part of the state. That's where they have kind of a blanket of clouds holding in temperatures a little bit warmer on the east side of the state. Usually it's just the opposite, but not in this case, where the skies have cleared this morning, especially here in southern Kentucky. It's in the 30s, close to freezing. So some of you did or will see, as you get up this morning, some patchy frost. It's not widespread, but it's enough to it could cause some harm to your plants if you do have them outside this early. All right, let's take a look at the model map, and we'll go through the next several days and see what's coming our way, if anything. Here is the current situation: high pressure in control. But I talked about this yesterday, the dip in the jet stream. Look at that. Wow. This is why we're feeling the colder air this morning and all day today. It's not going to be that warm at all. It's going to feel like maybe we've pushed back to early or mid March with temperatures, maybe even late February. I mean, when you're talking mid to upper 50s, you're talking about, you know, still winter. Like for us in Southern Kentucky, it's still kind of winter averages. So we've got that dip, but it's not going to last long. It won't, because as I just explained, it can't, because of the sun angle. And here we go into April, late April and May. And you see we warm up over the next few days. This is Tuesday. High pressure still dominating, pretty strong high pressure too, 1024 millibar. It's rather strong. And then you get this flow that, we've been watching over and over again coming off of the Pacific out west. There's some disturbed weather out in the Rockies. And with that, we're going to get the natural flow of things coming our direction. But you may think, well, okay, there's a 997 low. Yeah, that's probably going to affect us in some way. But with the pairing of this low and this high, what's going to happen is the high pressure is going to continue to move east out in the Atlantic. So we're going to get a natural backflow. And with this low pressure system coming through the plains and headed our way, guess what? I heard somebody say it. We're going to get rain. Yep. But it's not going to be severe weather, which is certainly good news. So here we are on Tuesday. And going into Wednesday, we're going to see, and this low does deepen, 993 millibars. You can see the rain just starting to stack up here because the flow out of the Atlantic and out of the Gulf of Mexico just opens up and sends it all our direction. But the good news is this is not a dynamic setup where we're looking at severe weather or even strong thunderstorms. This is going to be a general rain that just sits and kind of lingers. Pretty much after Tuesday, it's going to be with us every day next week. The chance of rain is going to be with us every single day next week, after Tuesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday early. Then we see a cold front coming through and shutting all this off. But watch it as it just sits here and just rains and rains and rains. Now the low weakens. Notice it goes from 993 to 1,000 millibars. That's a weakened low pressure system being, Pac-Man effect. It's helping bring in the moisture, but it's also kind of eating away at the strength of the system. And so therefore we're just looking at several days of periodic light rain. That's it. Perhaps maybe a renegade thunderstorm, but the chances of that are just not that high. So this is not a system to be concerned about as far as severe weather. It's just going to be one of those that comes in and just rains until we get into, this is Friday of next week. And there will be a cold front that comes through kind of like attached to a low to the north of us, about like this. It'll come through on Saturday and push all this out of the way. And then, as you see, high pressure builds in back behind it. So by a week from today, next Sunday, we'll be back into the sunshine and warming things up as we get into the first few days of May. It's going to be May. It's going to be May. Justin Timberlake said that. It's going to be May. All right. Here, somebody's like, you're so stupid. Yeah. All right. Here's it was my wife. Thank you, honey. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast. As we look at the maps here, we go from the mix of clouds and sunshine today. Really not a bad day. It's just going to be sort of on the chilly side. We get into late Sunday today, into Monday, pretty quiet, high pressure each day. But notice, watch the H, these two H's here, that's high pressure. Watch them move into the Atlantic, opening up not only the Atlantic, but the Gulf of Mexico with this system out in the Rockies. Tuesday night, Wednesday, boom. See, it's just a natural flow. It's just part of the process. We get a little straw, we get a little shortwave trough coming up out of the Gulf of Mexico, low pressure down here in Louisiana. See it right there? And so this thing gets hung up. High pressure is eating away at some of it, but not all of it. So we're going to get some light rain Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. See what I'm talking about? But all of it is just the plain light green on this map. There's no thunderstorm activity. There's no heavy rain. It's all just going to be light general showers. And it's not going to rain continuously. It's just going to be, there's a chance that you'll see some shower activity. And the chances are like 30 to 40% each day. And then here we go into next Saturday with a cold front that'll push through. Now, this does show a little bit of a left lean, right there, a little tilt. We'll have to see if the dynamics are strong enough. It's a 1,004 millibar low. There's going to be some winds with it. Whether there will be severe weather remains to be seen, but doubtful for us. That could change, of course, but for now, I'm going to leave that in later forecast. Okay, that'll do it for this Sunday morning edition of the Sam Channel Weather. And I hope that you have a great Sunday. Again, today, chilly, mid-50s, mostly sunny, and then frost advisory again tonight and Monday night as lows dip into the 30s. So take care of your plants that are already out there. Have a great rest of the weekend. God bless you, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning.